Hello, hello. All right, so I've been gone for a while. I've been quite busy with work. I've been quite busy with a bunch of things. So I've unfortunately neglected command. But I'm back, and I'm going to continue with our missile defense project. So the first thing I'm going to do is create two factions. Blue 4 and Op 4. And I've chosen the missile for today as the Sandbox missile. Now, as always, we're going to use a Ticonderoga class cruiser. And we're going to use the most current version. And on the enemy side, I'm going to put in the Moskva, the Slava class cruiser. So the Slava class cruiser, as we are all aware of, has that's weird, it doesn't have it. What is going on? Okay, now I'm confused. Alright, well, we know that the Moskva is the Slava, so we're just going to use that. The missile is the same. It is this Sandbox missile here, the P500. So, the Sandbox missile is a very, very, very large missile. It has defensive countermeasures. It has an active radar seeker. It has an anti-radiation seeker. It's got a range of 300 nautical miles. And a big-ass warhead. It is designed to destroy surface ships. But, unlike every other missile we fired at our ships so far, this is a high-flying missile, which I honestly did not think this missile was high-flying. I thought this missile was a surface skimmer, but it appears that I was wrong. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create three Moskvas, or three Slavas, I should say. Put them in a group, and I'm going to give them an AWACS just to make sure that they can detect the enemy. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do here is turn on sensors and travel somewhat towards the Tycho. So now, while that's going on, we will set up our Tycho. I'm going to turn on our sensors, and I'm going to set up weapons for it. Not sure what's going on. Okay, there we go. So all VLS cells are going to be empty, except for ESSM. Basically, I'm just going to test one missile at a time. I know that in the real world there will be some combination, but in this case we're just testing one missile at a time. And for anyone out there who wants to tell me, oh, this ship will totally destroy this ship, Yeah, this is a game that makes the best effort to be a simulator for civilians, so get over it. If you find this fun, cool. If you don't watch. Or tell me I suck in another way, I don't really care. Alright. So, I'm gonna set this guy to be unarmed. So, while I am waiting for the aircraft to spot me, let's make our prediction on how this aircraft will do. So, first we have to analyze the Moskva's Sandbox missile. High flying, 50,000 feet. It's pretty fast, very fast actually, 1450 knots. So my prediction is these are going to be detected immediately upon entering this range. Once they are detected, they're going to be fired upon and shot down quickly. The reason that supersonic missiles are now surface skimming is so that they give no detection time. Of course, being detected 175 miles out is a no-go. The only thing I'm concerned about is how do these missiles do when they are shooting at targets 50,000 feet up, because these missiles are short range. So if this Tycho falls, it's probably because of that. Okay, so now I'm just going to send this guy in and take off that horrid God's Eye view. He's detected, and we're going to fire all weapons. So 16 from this one, 16 from this one, and 16 from this one. So, by the way, these were considered very scary missiles for the Cold War. Are they scary today? Let's find out. Alright, so missiles are being fired. While I am waiting, I am going to put another right here. I'm going to keep them way out of the way. The reason being, I don't want this guy firing his standard missiles, the SM-6, which are these wonderfully long-range missiles, until he's ready. Alright, so this one is armed with SM-6, and I'm going to move him to here because I think that's safe. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to them. They see everything, and I'm just going to have this guy do that pattern and loiter. Now, I'm going to wait until they're detected. 173 nautical miles out. So that part, I believe, would be realistic as far as how many missiles get detected at this range. I don't know. I mean, how do you see a missile that's behind a missile? That is a big unknown for me. But let's let them all come towards us. Alright, so now that we are Not detecting any more missiles, we can get some accurate data on how these are handled, at least in command. So it looks like there's a pretty solid idea of where these vampires are. So, alright, so the first thing this thing does, as soon as they get into range, which I think this here, I'm just going to see. So this is the 30 nautical mile range, and if I had to guess, these missiles are firing here because they know these missiles will reach here around this time and intercept them. Now I know for a fact we are not going to run out of interceptors, but can we actually shoot all these missiles down? And I don't remember from the last time I've done this, it's been so long unfortunately. If an ESSM hits this target, can the second ESSM fired at that target hit the next target? Another thing to consider is that countermeasures on this aircraft, I'm sorry, on this cruiser, might be considerably better than these missiles can handle. And they might... Whoa, what are these missiles doing? Well, that's interesting. Is this a new mechanic of command here? Or did this jammer successfully fool them for a second? Because this jammer would have had to have fooled this AWACS. Now, a disclaimer. I think this Tycho with a normal combat load would run out of ammunition before it was able to take out all these missiles, but given how far out it's able to intercept these, I think its chances of intercepting all of them in game are pretty damn good when I set ammunition to virtually unlimited. By unlimited, I mean 512 missiles. Now, back in the Cold War, these missiles would have been a very scary sight to see crashing down towards your carrier group. That's what these and the Kirov's missiles were designed for. I still swear I thought these were surface skimmers, so I'm kind of confused here. I'm going to have to look that up. Right, time to zoom in here. This one missile looks like it's coming in, but it looks like it's going to be intercepted before it gets close. So it would take a hell of a lot more missiles just to get close. So for this scenario, this Tycho just simply wins that fight, period. Alright, so let's delete these Slavas and add them back. And now the next one here has SM2s. The The only thing I did notice is that we had to fire 98 ESSMs to defeat those three. Now, that is a pretty significant amount of missiles, so I will say I was impressed by the amount of missiles it took to defeat those, but I mean, that is a significant amount, so that shouldn't surprise us too much. Alright, so we've got our Ticonderoga again. So what I'm going to do here is turn on all of our radars. They don't seem to want to turn on. Let's try that again. There we go. Now that its radar is on, it will easily be identifiable, and I'm going to go out and predict that the SM-2 is going to be an even better asset than the ESSM. The reason being is that it survives better at the high altitudes, given that it can go higher, and it has a semi-active radar homing seeker on the missile, so that in the event that the defensive countermeasures are effective, it's still not going to get very far. It's still going to be shot at and effective. Alright, so we start off with this Ticonderoga firing everything it's got. If I remember correctly, the Tycho can only fire a certain amount of these missiles at a time. I don't know if it's just how fast they can clear VLS cells, but I think it was like 18 or so. So that's what it looks like it is here. And again, I don't know if these missiles hit their target, can the second one behind it actually engage a missile behind it? Either way, we are going to have interception way, way, way out. I mean, these missiles aren't even close. And it looks like the answer to that question is yes, they can figure out another target to hit. Looks like when they go blind, they've got their IR seeker turned on, and they can hit something from there. Alright, I think it's safe to say this is a wrap. We already know what's going to happen here. And no missiles even got close. I want to say, yeah, 20 miles out-ish they were intercepted. So my prediction is, however great that seems with the SM-2, the SM-6 is going to be even more ridiculous. Alright, so we've got our aircraft, we will detect them. Now let's go back to that Slava, and 3 of them. Move them a little closer. and have them fire. Okay, so we're going to see what happens when we're using SM6 instead. They're already launching. And these are active missiles, so I don't believe there's any sort of limit to how many they could fire at stuff. And if a missile's destroyed, they've got an active seeker. They'll find something else to shoot at, or to crash into, I mean. Although I will say this, I sort of doubt it would be that easy in real life, even if technology is this advanced. I don't know, it's just hard to believe it would be this easy. There's a lot of factors that could probably throw this sort of a thing off. And there's SM6 missing and hitting the next target in line. Oof. Not sure how many SM6 we have that we could afford to put on each of these ships, but at least according to command, the SM6 is pretty damn good. Now, if missiles are able to go at different flight paths, then an SM6 missing won't hit the next available target because they won't be in the same spot. That might make a difference. Alright, so that was pretty easy. Ineffective missile, at least by today's standard. The Chinese missiles and even the modern Russian missiles seemed way, way, way scarier. So I will say this. They did force a significant amount of missiles, and there's a good chance that such a ship, even a Ticonderoga, wouldn't have this many SAMs on it at that time. That being said, if they were in the air-to-air role, they would have more than 98 SAMs in these three combinations, most likely. Alright. So I think that's it for this one. I do intend to get back into this missile defense series, and I have a few ideas on scenarios to mess around with when I get done with the missile defense series. So if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, and I will be on more soon, I hope. Alright, take care for now. Bye.